Thank you so much for tuning in to Sister Talk with LTB. Welcome back to all of our viewers. Hello to all of our new viewers. I'm Brittany. These are my lovely sisters, Nisha and Sierra. Say hey.
Hey.
Once again, thank you for tuning in. We are really, really excited to be back with our third episode. You guys have been showing so much love. As we said in episode 2, like the love just keeps pouring in, and we're much grateful for it. So thank you. Keep it going. Keep tuning in. Thanks. So for those of you who are new, once again, our tradition, we go over our mission statement. So we want to make sure we engage you in sassy conversation. I'm a little sassy, but it's more so those guys, but you'll see.
Oh, you working into a little sassy.
right.
Intermediate.
Anyway, so we want to make sure we empower you, especially with this episode. I think that this topic is a pretty heavy episode, so we definitely want to make sure that you leave empowered. And we also want to encourage you. So main thing we want to do is encourage you to be your authentic self. Be who you are. Okay? Thanks. So a couple of things we want to discuss before we even go into our topic. We're going to do our church announcements really quick. So first and foremost, we've been getting a lot of emails about being on the show. We've been getting messages on our IG page. A lot of you want to come onto the show, and we really do appreciate the support. Like that's a beautiful thing, and eventually, we do want to get there to where we're having guests on the show. But as of right now, we're not accepting any guest hosts or doing any interviews right now, but that doesn't mean that we won't be doing it in the future. So just keep a lookout. If you guys see in our IG post, we do still want to be able to promote your businesses. So if you're interested, just email us at sistertalkwithltb@gmail.com. We definitely want to make sure that we shout you out, whatever it is that you do. If you want to send us merch, whatever, hit us up, right?
Yes.
So with that being said, there's one other thing that I want to talk about in the church announcement. So if you all don't know, this week is we're recognizing our doulas this week, right? Our doulas. And Sierra and I wanted to shout out our big sister, Nisha,
show her some love because
who
she's
is
so
also
raw.
the Cleveland doula.
Y'all so funny.
Yes. So just really quick, I just want to say that, sister, you really are superwoman. I know I tell you this all the time. Guys, she has like 27 jobs, okay?
I do.
But you are a superwoman. You are one of my definitions of a strong Black woman. I love you. And we want to recognize you on this show today. Don't cry.
So yeah, we wanted to recognize you and let you know that all you do does not go unnoticed. We know we're not the only people that notice everything that you do and all them credentials, baby. That's going behind your name. But we really, 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 you know how people say, give people their flowers while they can smell them. And I know a lot of people appreciate you, but we wanted to say that we personally appreciate you being our wise counsel and being a doula. If y'all don't know what a doula is, okay, she hooked me on to this doula situation, and I was like, what? They got that? I need that. And I didn't even know what it was though, for real. And then especially being Black and a mother, first time mom, not knowing exactly what to do, how to do it, how to navigate. And she really just plugged me onto a lot of connections, especially in the city. And I definitely appreciate it, especially because I just had a kid, And she be giving me little tips like how to make that baby stop crying when she sees it. So I definitely appreciate you. We know you,
Oh
girl.
my God.
We love you, Nisha.
Oh, I love y'all.
Okay, now that
Oh,
we've had our
God.
little sappy moment.
Mm.
So as we stated last week, this episode is going to be a continuation of last week. We were talking about, we got into the whole strong black woman syndrome, as some of us may call it. Didn't want to get too much into it because we knew we wanted to continue that into episode 3. So that's what we're going to talk about today. In my normal fashion, I normally have a definition, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, no, you can go ahead. Break down that definition. Give it to us.
Definition of a strong black woman for me,
Mm-hmm.
I always would say my definition of a strong black woman is everything that my grandma was. But over the last few years, my definition has changed. And when I think about strong black woman, y'all, I think about me. Period. Pooh. And no, definitely. I think about me, and especially within the last few weeks, like I've been very vocal about dealing with anxiety and everything, and just going through a lot of stuff. And sometimes for me, just even getting up out the bed is being a strong woman. It doesn't even have to be strong black woman, just strong woman in general. So whereas I still feel like my grandmother is that definition of a strong black woman, just everything that she had to endure in her lifetime, I have now become that definition for myself. And it makes me feel good, to really see myself in that light. You know what I mean? But something that we talked about last week was where that comes from, because there's a lot of other things that we may have been through, other trauma that we may have been through where we had to be strong. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to pass the torch to my sissy.
So, you guys, welcome to part 2 of this conversation. But seriously, some things get passed down to us that we didn't know about. We don't believe it's passed down to us. So this whole strong black woman thing, it really stems back to slavery days.
Mm-hmm.
How women would have children and master would come and take the man away and have him working in the field all the time and all of that. And so the woman had to take care of the kids. She had to take care of master kids. She had to cook. She had to do all of these things. And so even though that society has their own definition of where this could have came from, it really stems back all the way back from slavery. And it's amazing to me to really see how everything of what happened in the past is really in the future. It's really in the present right now. We are living through so many things and we don't even know why we do it. We don't know why we do a lot of things. Even later on, we'll probably talk about being single parents, um, why dads leave, things like that. It's really not about nothing of what's happening in today's society. It's just things that's just passed down through generation. And you don't even know why you're doing it, what's going on. You're just doing it. You just living through it and repeating a cycle. And so when you begin to see what that cycle is, then it's up to you to break it. So I don't want you to break being a strong woman, okay? But what I do want you to do is pay attention to, you don't gotta be strong all the time.
Right.
Not all the time.
Or change your definition. Like how Brittany said, at first she thought that it was just this one way. This person is the exact, model of what a strong woman or a strong black woman is. But I think, like you said, where it stems from, and then realizing that in today's culture and today's time, it calls for a different type of woman. You know what I'm saying? And I think the strongest thing about a person is to be able to not code switch, but to adjust, to adjust in each obstacle or circumstance or situation that they are in, to make it work for their families, and not in a selfish way, still being, you know what I mean, that mom or that woman or that sister, and really still wanting what's best for everybody around you. However, being able to, like I said, like maneuver in each situation that, causes it to be the best. So sometimes, like you said, you ain't got to be strong all the time. Sometimes you do got to have a place where you can be weak. However, being able to identify that too. Like, when is it okay for me to be weak?
Right.
Listen, when? Can somebody tell me?
I think that that's just about you and yourself. You having a discussion and knowing who you are and what situation that you are in. Something else is being a strong woman doesn't mean like you don't take time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to. Strong women have to sit down sometimes and, hey, get away from me.
Do you take your own advice?
Them grandkids ain't here. For some of our viewers who don't know me, I do have 4 grandchildren, but 3 beautiful little girls that I will keep all day long. I love them to death, but sometimes you have to take that moment and say like, hey, I can't be strong for everybody. But it's a hard thing to do when this is all that you knew. And so you have to retrain yourself. You have to rethink things through. Like if you constantly getting a headache, it's because you ain't took that time to just block it out. Like
I feel attacked.
Right. I think
that happens to me all the time too. Like, sometimes I don't take that time, but I get that massive headache in my big head. Yes, Eden knows.
Eden knows for sure.
No, I feel that though. I think for me, it's been drilled in my head so much that you just gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep pushing. Like, I mean, remember when I FaceTimed y'all laying on the hospital gurney and y'all was like, what is going on?
Right.
But I think that is something that I do have to learn myself. It's okay to not be okay and just chill. Give yourself some time. Even when I'm taking mommy time, just time to myself, I feel bad about it. I feel
mommy guilt is real. I heard that's very real.
It is. It is. When I drop my daughter off at my mother's house, I feel awful. And then I can't even really enjoy myself because I feel so bad about it. Then I'm calling her, I'm on FaceTime her, like, well, what you doing? She's like, I'm watching my shows. I have time for this. But I do feel bad, when I drop her off over there. But that how do I fix that? Like, how do we turn it off?
I personally, like I told y'all last week, I have like sticky notes everywhere. Okay. And I constantly tell myself that happy mamas make happy children. Okay. So if I know, like, okay, now I was having like some body image issues, like right after I had Eden and stuff like that. And I'm like, I never want Eden to feel like because I'm this way, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not pretty or I'm not accepted. So I had to change the way I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Really show my own self mercy.
That's right.
And show myself grace. And then, and then also really realizing it's the same with my kids at church or my kids that I mentor. I cannot pour from an empty well. You get what I'm saying? I can't pour from an empty cup. I can't make nobody happy if I'm not happy. I'm just telling you right now, me personally, if if I'm not happy, especially being the woman, because you know a lot of times the woman kind of controls the atmosphere in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And if
girl.
I am like flamed up, everybody catching fire. It's gonna be like whole house burned down. So it's just really realizing that even though like you can't depend on anybody else for your happiness. However, you know, even just realizing like, okay, I gotta pour into me. I gotta know what is helping me and what's good for me. What's the positive affirmations that I can speak to myself? What's the way of thinking that I can, you know, the way I can think to make me feel better or what have you. And then once I kind of started doing that, then I started to be more like just happy, like more in a happy mood. You know what I'm saying? My mood wasn't so easily shaken or brought down by whatever was going on around me. So I think that it's a wise woman to know that you can't pour from an empty cup. Because once you start running on E, what they getting? They ain't getting nothing.
Nothing.
You just blowing smoke.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
that was it for me.
Absolutely.
You know, I think the idea of the sticky notes is such a good idea. You know, when you first mentioned it, I actually started doing it myself. I wouldn't even go tell you, but but I, you know, I did start doing that myself, and it does make a difference. And you know, with us saying that on the show, hopefully, you know, it will make a difference for some of our viewers as well. It really does help. It is so funny because like Aria will come in my room and she's like, "Why do you have all this sticky paper on your mirror?" And I'm just like, "Leave me alone, okay? I'm loving myself."
That's right.
But it definitely does work. So you know, I do want to thank you for even bringing that up in our previous episode. Look at me learning from my little sister.
But it's another thing that Tierra talked about. I don't think that it was on our previous show, but I think it was just us talking. And then you say that when you make your schedule, you schedule your me time, right? And I've heard that from time to time. And so I have a me day. I got a scheduled me day. I'm not working if you're watching this and you wondered why I do not answer your call Wednesday morning until like 4 o'clock. It's all about me.
I mean, and regardless,
everybody,
regardless of what you know what it is, and more specifically, I try to schedule time with God because I am a spiritual person, and that helps me as well. Now, I'm not saying like everybody is not spiritual, everybody don't believe in the same thing or whatever. However, I think that meditation time is good regardless. Regardless if you're talking to God or if you're talking to, you know, yourself, or if you just reading something, you know, or just even thinking of a positive affirmation and really taking time to just think on that, like peace, you know what I'm saying? Or just saying a word, or you just really focusing in on one word, or you get what I'm saying? Yes. Whatever is good, because I know like sometimes if I don't have that time, my brain feels like it's literally going to explode. Like it is a million places at once. And as women that have multiple things going on all the time, you know, it's so easy to be basically like ripped into shreds. Yes. You will mentally be ripped into shreds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I really try to stick to that, or at least have that time, you know, for myself, and or just to meditate too, because I'm telling you, because listen, okay, that strong Black woman gonna come out, okay.
Yeah. But the other thing, like even if someone, you know, somebody might not be spiritual, and you just need just take that time for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, even if
Yeah.
it's to sleep, because some of us be sleep deprived. Just take
Mm-hmm.
whatever it means to you to just be one with yourself. Then that's
Mm-hmm.
what you need to do. For us, it may mean for us to read and meditate on the word. For
Mm-hmm.
somebody else, it might mean, hey, I'm going to take this time to take a nap. I'm going to take this time to go shopping by myself.
By myself. For
By
myself.
myself, for myself. It might mean that, but whatever it is, take that time for yourself. And remember
Mm-hmm.
that you don't have to be all for everybody. If you don't show up for yourself, then you can't show up for nobody else.
Period.
Period.
Cool. Yeah, that's real though, because I mean, I feel like I do get that time to myself. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to really make the time for myself.
You
Mm,
do.
Because if I have a day where it's just me, I'm trying to do everything but what I need.
right.
Whether
Mm-hmm.
that's making orders, or Aria's room's messed up, let me go clean that up, or I gotta go grocery shopping. We got food. It can wait a day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's where my
Absolutely.
mind is always like, I have to get it done. I have to get it done. I have to get it done. So I have to learn to just sit down. And I know I get on you about that a lot, Nisha. So maybe I should just take my own advice, huh? What you
Amen.
think?
That's what it sounds like to
Amen.
me.
that
Hallelujah.
that still don't mean that I ain't gonna get on you.
But you
But
know
no.
what? When we're talking about all of that, it makes me think, where did we see this at? Where did we
I
see?
was just about to say that.
We had to see some people,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
doing
Absolutely.
it this way, and it just they made it look so nice. Like,
So
So
easy. It was
graceful.
just
yes.
like, oh, the house is going to be spotless. The kids are taken care of. But listen, honey, let me tell you all, like, bruh, I didn't even know we had food stamps growing up. I thought we had it going on. We got food, the house clean. We got a white couch. Ain't none of my friends got a white couch. Period.
Not a white couch.
You know what I'm saying? The house was always spotless and everything was just always just great. You know what I'm saying? And then when you went over other people's houses where their mom was like, working, they could be working, they could have been stay-at-home moms. It was just like so super easy. And then
Life
it'd be
happened.
like, oh, it's not that easy, no.
Right. Right.
But see, that's that strong woman trait,
Mm.
because on the outside, especially as kids, we're looking at it like, oh my goodness, like my mother just has everything together. But who
Mm-hmm.
knows what was going on in their
Going on
Exactly.
mind,
behind,
or
right?
Exactly.
what they were thinking every night when they lay their head down. Like, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right,
Mm-hmm.
Nisha. That's what we saw growing up.
Mhm.
So now we've adapted that same trait. And honey, eyes be tired. Tired.
Tired. I be like, what?
Tired. Like, and I gotta
Man,
get up and do this again tomorrow.
tomorrow, like,
Come
yeah.
on. So I
But
had a
you're right.
question for y'all. If you could identify one trait that you did see growing up, however, you don't want that to be a part of your persona as a strong Black woman, what would that be? Or a part of your quote unquote definition of a strong Black woman? What would that be? Y'all want me to go first?
I'll go. I don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I think for me, and I've always said this to my mother, especially when I, became a teenager and I was really able to like see things and really understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't feel like, and she still does this now. She doesn't think about herself first, you
Mm,
know. And I don't want that to be me. Like, my mother's always been the caregiver. You got to understand, she took care of my grandmother. when my grandmother passed. She's now taking care of my grandfather. She took care of me. She thinks she already is mama. So I have to constantly tell my mom, like, hey, you're going to be 60 soon. Sorry, boo. I mean, you still look 40, so it's okay. But, it's time. It is time for you to think about yourself. It's time to go out and have fun. It's time to do whatever. Your child is grown. You really don't have to take care of nobody no more. I don't want that to be me. Like, I want to still be able to live my life when my child is grown. I don't, and now if I have to take care of a family member, okay. If I absolutely, if
anybody else gonna do it,
okay. But I think for me, that's that one trait that that can't be me. Because when I'm 60, I'm gonna be on somebody's cruise ship. You understand? So if that's it for me. What about you?
Baby, you gonna own the cruise ship, baby. You gonna own the cruise ship. Period. We got a yacht.
Cool. Okay. Ooh, can we have an LTB yacht? And you name that as Twisted Talk, the LTB yacht. We be on there. Like, hey. That's pretty dope. What about you, Tiara?
Okay, so for me, I think that one thing that I definitely don't want to be a part of, like, my persona is feeling like I can't depend on anybody. You know what I'm saying? And just like, okay, you didn't do it right now, so like, boom, I'm doing it. And before allowing for somebody to help me. You get what I'm saying? My mom, I love her to death, and I always brag about this. I love her to life. I'm sorry. And I always brag about this. Like, my mom can do everything. Okay, she can do hair, she can make your clothes, she can make my clothes. She could stitch your arm up. Okay, she could treat a wound. And also she's a lot like Nisha, where she has a lot of credentials and a lot of just a lot of different skills that she really was blessed with by God. My mom can draw, she can everything. Okay. She could sing, everything. It was like all the gifts, God just was like, here you go. Boo, 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 boo. But even though, she has all of these gifts, it's hard for her to depend on somebody else to help her. You know what I'm saying? So wherever that came from, I don't know. However, I do know that it is a character flaw of mine, and I do want to attempt to change that, because sometimes my dude will be like just trying to help, and I'll be like,
I got it.
Like, I got it. You want me to do this? Got it. You sure? Yeah, I got it. And then I be dang near like dragging it up the driveway, because you know what I'm saying? And it's not just being like, I don't need you. Like, I do want you to ask me, do I need help? But I'ma still be like, you know what? It's cool. I got it. You know
it's
what I'm saying?
It's the thought that counts.
And in reality, though, I don't want to take on that like load and be tired, because I always feel like I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Even like, girl, you ain't gonna have to do it for long, right? That's right. As soon as you start walking, you'll be sweeping the floor.
Oh,
okay. I bought my baby a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. For real, they like to help at that age. So
yeah, but dang, let it give me a.
She got her own little dirt devil.
That's so wrong.
I seen the reviews on Amazon for that, and somebody else said that they bought it for their kid, and like they think it's a toy. It costs cheaper than the toy, so
girl,
I'm telling you,
working these babies like this.
Oh, you spilled your chips on the floor? Go get your vacuum. She be like, yay!
Y'all is so silly.
But no, though, like For real, just being like, all right, you could do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm even like that with daddy sometimes. I'm just like, no, I got it. It's cool, everything's great. You're gonna take too long to get here, so I got it. You know what I'm saying?
He just might though.
He live a little far.
Y'all so silly. For me, my grandmother worked a lot, and she took care of us. And so, the things she always had these quirky little things of what she would say. So, to get straight to the point, it's really nothing of what this lady has taught me that I don't want to do. I don't want to take anything away. She was strong, but she knew how to not be strong. She ain't gonna ask you for no help, but she gonna take her time to be done. My grandmother had this crazy work ethic, but she would sure enough tell you, don't let a job work you. You work the job. And you make sure that your resume is so tight that if you walk up in there and they piss you off, you could say deuces and go to the next one.
That's why you got all
But
them
I don't want to
jobs.
do that. I want to be like, I don't need this. So my man has 2 jobs. Okay? No.
It makes so much sense. That's why you have 97 jobs.
I do not have 97 jobs. Let's get this straight right now. I do not have 97 jobs. It just so happens that everything that I do, it all intertwines together. Okay. Being a doula, it intertwines with the teen mom ministry that I does. It intertwines with the assessments that I do for ODH. Like everything all intertwines together. So it's like when I wake up in the morning, I got those 3-4 jobs, but they're all working together. And so
that's so smart.
Right. It all intertwined together. So, it worked out for my good, but it took me a minute to get there, but I still remember what my grandmother
Your hair disappeared.
I still remember what she told me, like,
you're awful.
I ain't got time for you. Dad, what in the world is you doing to her?
Oh, she had like a little piece of, first of all, she had a little piece of lint, but then I was trying to go ahead and put her to sleep, but she like, I ain't going to sleep. But her head keep disappearing. Like,
this is sister talk with LTBE, girl. What you thought this was?
Right.
Exactly.
But yeah, I wouldn't I don't think that I would take away anything. The only thing of what I would change, I think, I ain't no think about it, I know, is just the way it was no men around, and so having sons, I just look at that totally different. We tear down our men, and grandma was, cut it up.
That's how my girl was.
Slice it up. It boom.
Hey, we slicing and blowing them up.
Okay. Let me tell you, my grandma was on that gang activity. So
look, if anyone could see, that's what it say. Bibs gang. That's what she was. She was gang. Like, she be like, "What you said? What? I'm about to cut you, dude." And but that I would change that. Period. Look, I would definitely change that. But otherwise than that, she was original. She got you together.
Yeah, what is a trait that you did not see growing up from the strong Black women in your lives that you feel like you would have wanted to see more, something that you would have wanted to adapt in your adulthood, something you wanted to see more of now that you think about it as an adult? Anybody?
Oh.
I don't
Oh,
know. That's a good question.
You said a trait.
Yes, Nisha kind of said it.
Yeah, I think I touched on mine already. I just the I don't the way that men were treated. Like I don't want to, I don't want to cut them up and make them be dust.
Do you think you feel that way because you have sons though?
um, somewhat. Um, I think that I think my sons really like play a role on how I think about Black fathers.
Mm-hmm.
But men in general, it didn't honestly. I didn't know that it was another way to treat men until I started going to church, honestly. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's when I started finding out, like, the way that she do things, it just made me wrong. Like, whoa, Granny, like, why are you
Yeah.
like that? Like, so that's when I realized, like, whoa, wait a minute, something got to change. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was something definitely got to change because I had these young Black men. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely got to get it together. I don't want to be mouthy all the
Mm-hmm.
time and cussing you out and this, that,
You
and
don't
other.
want them to think that that's how love is supposed to look from a woman.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then, you don't realize that until, well, for me, I didn't realize that until they were the oldest one. He was a teenager. So he didn't see some things,
Mm-hmm.
to go back and say, like, hey, this is not the way that a woman is supposed to act and
Mm-hmm.
treat you. It's like making him rethink and retraining him, re-raising him. But it was well worth it. It's well worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because now he knows. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he see me now. Like, that's not the way that my mom was. Is not the way that life is supposed to go. You
Mm-hmm.
ain't
But you
gotta
know
be
what I
all.
think? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that in our parents' generation, especially our mothers, um, there was a lot of hurt bay syndrome. And if you don't
Yeah.
know who hurt bay is, look it up. But I think that with that hurt bay syndrome, that's passed on to us. And I think that that's where a lot of that comes from, but everybody ain't out to hurt you,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And then we have to go through our own hurt as well, you
But
know.
see, my mama would tell you, hurt them first. That's you. Hurt them first.
That's like something my mother would say.
You ain't got time for that. Hurt them first. But it was like, no, that is not the way that it's supposed to go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you got, like you said, you got to get hurt. You got to
Yeah.
go through life. Everything through life is not peaches, creams, and roses. Like, it's not supposed to be like that. And you ain't got to
Mm-hmm.
be in control of everything. And so,
Yeah. I agree
Yeah.
with that. And I
That
think
one.
that what about that saying, and I don't know if you're not your mother ever said this to you growing up, but mine did. She would always say, make sure that the man in your life loves you way more than you love them. Have you
mm,
ever heard that growing up?
I mean, I haven't heard it from directly from my mother. However, I have heard that statement before. Um,
What do you think
I don't
about
know how
that?
much weight that really holds. You know what I'm saying? Because it just depends on how you measure love.
mm,
Um, I think that like how we talked about previously, on a previous episode about how different people love different. You know what I'm saying? And what I learned, I want to answer your first question, but I'm gonna answer this one first, okay? So um what I've learned, and I didn't learn this until I came back to church. So I was raised in church. However, I did my own thing and then came back as an adult and had a better understanding.
mm.
Um, and what I really learned is that you grow in love. It's a constant thing that you have to continuously choose. You know what I'm saying? So if this man is trying and he's continuously choosing to love me and try to learn my language, because you heard like what is the saying when we were kids, when girls are from Venus, or boys are from Venus, and girls are from Mars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think there is some truth behind that statement, because the language that we speak can sometimes be different, but because I see you trying to understand me or understand my language, I am also going to, continue to try, or continue to show you, or continue to put an effort in to the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I want to feel loved, period. You know what I'm saying? But understanding that my man, how he views love is totally different from how I view what love is. You know what I'm saying? Or how I want to feel loved. So I know I had this conversation personally in the relationship that I'm in now. And we had a discussion, and I came to the realization that I was loving him the way that I wanted to be loved, not the way that he perceived love. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he was loving me the way that he wanted to be loved, but not the way that I perceived love.
Right.
So we were constantly in a conflict. You get what I'm saying? Because the way that you loving me is not translating love to me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this really is a whole different topic, but to be 100% honest, I don't know how to measure you loving me more than I love you. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
But as long as you trying and you ain't out here just like, I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? I'ma just do whatever. Once you get to that point, then it ain't nothing for me to do, because it takes two, right? I can't row the boat by myself.
Right.
So as long as you continuing to put in that effort, you get what I'm saying?
Never is she knocked out like that.
As long as you continuing to put in that effort though, and as long as you can take that like criticism, or that me being honest with you about your behaviors and how this is not reflecting what you think it is, and then being able to take that, then I think that you is loving me. You continuing to choose to love me by changing behaviors when it does offend me, or when it does hurt my feelings. So that's love. That's love to me. Right. Because people that love you ain't gonna continue to hurt you when they know that you hurt. You know what I'm saying? Or what you did hurt me or made me feel a certain type of way. But I'm sorry. Okay. But to the first question you asked, I wish I saw more forgiveness. Now, it's hard. Like, it's like, I feel like a lot of people are grudge holders. And while you may have your right, I wasn't talking about you specifically, but we did have that conversation. We did have that conversation. But I felt like my grandmother, she was not so forgiving. However, my mother, when she got like into church and stuff, she became too forgiving. If that makes sense. Yeah. So for me, I really kind of wanted to find that medium. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that I've gone through where I really feel like I could potentially harbor hate in my heart towards a person. However, knowing that I don't want you to have that over me, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't want you to take up space in my mind, or for me to have an ill feeling towards you when I see you. I don't want to wish nobody go to hell, period. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even though sometimes we feel like, that's the case, but You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wish that on nobody because that's, from my viewpoint, for the rest of forever. You know what I'm saying? And nobody don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just really just straight up on some crazy stuff. But but I don't want to be too forgiving. Not too forgiving. When I say too forgiving, I mean like you burn yourself and you get a scar, right? You don't forget. You'll forget how it felt that when you burnt yourself. However, I'm not gonna continue to put myself in that same situation to be burnt again. And that's when I say like too forgiving. I'm saying you see that the stove burnt you, but you gonna go put your hand there again and get burnt again? Like no. And then at the same time, I don't want to be like, I ain't never using the stove again because I got burnt once.
Well, I mean, I got an air fryer and an Instant Pot.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. But, and I feel like my grandmother was more of a, she, oh my goodness, like, no. Okay, you crossed her once, you crossed her a million times. Okay, period. Your mama crossed her, your daddy crossed her, and your children to cross her.
The kids ain't even here yet,
right?
and they ain't no kin to her. Okay, because you. So I feel like I definitely don't want to be like that. But at the same time, I don't want to continue to be in a situation where I could potentially be compromised or hurt. And once the trust is gone, the relationship is going to be just dead. However, I'm not gonna hold any ill feelings towards you. And I'm also not gonna take you to a picnic either. You get what I'm saying? So that like medium for me is like, I feel like I work on that all the time because I know like, no, like that ain't gonna be me. What about you, Britt?
Well, I feel like growing up, I would have definitely wanted to see a little more understanding and affection for me personally. My grandmother helped raise me, as I've said before. So a lot of times when my mom was at work, I was with her. And there's a lot of things that have happened in my life that I have never told anyone but her, not even my mother. Because, with her, there was that understanding and there was that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? With the strong Black woman syndrome, my mom is a tough cookie, okay? And it may not seem like that on the outside, but that woman is a rock. But for me, I'm not like that. I'm an emotional person. I love affection. I need that in my life. I can't be around people who are not somewhat understanding, or I'll shut down. I won't talk to you. I won't tell you what's going on. I will put a smile on my face. So for me, I think that was something that could have benefited me a lot growing up. Even in my adult years, I still feel like I need a little more understanding and affection just from, everybody. And I don't understand everybody's not like that. You know what I mean? But
so
I would have
it
liked
sounds
to
like
see
you saying like more compassionate.
You're right.
Because that's both of those like put together.
I think
me being able to put myself in your situation and understand and kind of
I guess you could say that, not even putting yourself in my situation. I mean, to a certain degree, but still try to understand where I'm coming from, or if I am being upfront and honest and telling you how I feel, which is that's something that I have an issue with anyway. I see you making that face, Nisha. But if I am being open, just be a little understanding and understand that it took a lot out of me to even tell you. So yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more of that.
I think
I don't have that problem.
I think for me that's something for me. Like my grandmother, as hard as she worked, and she would slice up everybody and cut you where it hurt it. She did not do the I love you, the give me a hug, all
Mm-hmm.
of that stuff. And so my mom didn't do it. And so
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense. She can't
Mm-hmm.
do nothing that
Right.
wasn't done to her. And so looking for, like, I know even for me, it's hard to say I love you. That has been very hard for me. And that's because it wasn't said all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hugger now, but before it was like, "Ugh, get off of me."
Don't look at me.
You kissed me one time.
I kiss
One
you all the
time.
time. Shut up, Brittany.
It was this one time she kissed me. I was like,
So silly.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
goodness.
that affectionate side, like I ugh, it is draining. Like you be like, what? I mean,
Oh my
but
gosh, yeah.
seriously, I was in a relationship and the guy would say, "I love you" all the time, and I ain't gonna never forget. I was like, "Stop saying that." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Shut up! Stop saying that." Like, okay, you get on my nerves. But it's because I didn't grow up
oh,
that way. Like, ain't that
I'm
great?
feeling. She said I
I
came in close
cannot.
like this and said, "Stop saying
Yeah,
that."
quit it, dude. Like, but it was like, I wasn't used to that. That's not something of what I was used to. Like,
Hmm.
action speaks louder than words. That's what I was told. And so, you love me, then hey, show me. But
Hmm.
it's
Tell me too, because I like to hear it as well. So
you know
tell
what.
me
Well, I
more.
think that
Brittany, I
for
love
me,
you.
Thank you. Your turn, Tierra.
Tiara.
No, Tierra
Tiara,
I
does
love
tell
I
you
me
love
too,
she
girl.
loves
you.
I
me.
love y'all. I love
No,
y'all. I
Tierra
love
tells
y'all.
me
I
she
love
loves
y'all.
me all the time. Anytime we get off the phone or if we're parting ways, she always says love you. So thanks, sis. Love you too.
So for me, I feel like it's what with my mom and daddy, I kind of I'm like towards the end, you know what I'm saying, of their children. So they've had several trials to get here.
So with you, they got it right, girl.
Oh, they got it right with you. I'm smack dab in the middle, so I was
No,
forgotten.
no, but seriously, it was like I think that like the relationship even with my mom, like the relationship that I have with my mom is totally different from the relationship my older sister has or had with my mom growing up. So it I think like I said, for real, is she had a couple kids by the end, by the time she had me. And I feel like she just learned a little bit more along the way um, of what was gonna be a good way to basically like raise your kids or love your kids or
Mhm.
show them affection and things like that. Because like how you said with your mom, your grandmother didn't show it, so then your mom didn't show it, and then like now you struggle. And even with my grandmother when she was here, I would go to my grandma like, I love you. And she would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like she'd be like, girl, go. I love you too. Now get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like she would like literally be like blushing or something because it wasn't something that was said so often either for her. And like her relaying that to my mother also kind of put a strain on their, relationship
Mhm.
growing up because my grandmother also was a teen mom and my mother was a teen mom
Wow.
too.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of like that was one of the cycles that did trickle down, like kind of. So, but by the time my mom got to me, I feel like Brittany, like I'm an emotional person, and I'm very passionate. So, like things that I'm passionate about, I'm that kid. I was that kid, like mommy, 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 mommy. look at this. This is so beautiful. I know I did it, right? Yeah, okay. Like you have to affirm me or you know what I'm saying? Speak positivity or speak really, really into me because I was that kid. Like if you didn't, that really hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Or if you didn't pay attention or if you didn't show me like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I was a cuddler too. Like I would get up under you and be like, you know, you better watch a movie, yay. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was like really important. So as I grew up, being in different situations did cause for me to harden up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And that is really where that hardness comes from, like how y'all be talking about. But it wasn't actually. It wasn't really how I was raised. It wasn't how I was raised, but it was actually through the encounters that I had growing up that made me put myself in a different stance. You know what I'm saying? Because for me to be super emotional was sometimes put me into situations where I was too vulnerable and I didn't like it. Or too easily, like I was saying before, too easily shaken up, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't know, for lack of better words, just too easily able to change my mood. You was able to change my mood too easy. I really wasn't stable on what myself. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's something that I just picked up growing up, like as far as just being around different people or my village, you know, as I like to call the other people that had an impact in my life. So now I wanted to go ahead and ask you guys if you could shout out one special lady, one special woman. This is going to be going up at the towards the end of Women's History Month. So somebody preferably that's in your lineage, you know what I'm saying, that you know, you want to shout out and say thank you so much for being a strong Black woman, and thank you for, you know, even if it's somebody that's no longer with us, if you could say, you know, I saw you when you did this, and this particular thing really made me look up to you and made you, you know, just an inspiring figure in my life. Not all these people that's out here and all the world know. I'm talking about somebody that's just that you had a relationship with and it was intimate.
I think my person would be Cardi B. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to Cardi, but
I was not ready for that. I wasn't ready.
Shout out to Cardi though, but no,
Megan
you know,
Megan better.
I would. Oh my goodness. Well, I would choose. In most cases, I would choose my grandmother, but you know, I just really been thinking about things lately, and I definitely want to use this time to shout my mother out because you know we're very different. We see things a lot differently in life, but at the end of the day, she did that. You know, she was a single mother raising me. It was very difficult. So I do want to shout her out for, you know, loving me the best way she knows how. So shout out to you, mama.
Amen. Yeah.
Well.
You can't say Meg.
I know. But you know, when we were when I was thinking about this, I ain't gonna cry. But I want
feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. You can feel your feelings.
I don't want to feel them. I don't want to feel them.
Girl, we already put you in your feelings in the beginning of the show. You might as well just let your feelings come on down. Let it rain.
You are so silly. Me and my mother do not see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. But my mom, man, it takes a lot to deal with me. you're the I'm not um I'm not outspoken, but I am. And so I think about just dealing with me, be quiet, dealing with me and having to deal with my sickness. You know, she had to sacrifice a lot. Um dealing with my smart mouth sometimes.
Wow.
It wasn't, you know what, I wasn't that bad, but I mean, just to see her come from where she was and see her now, like, you know, lady, you did that. Like, you did that. And I always wanted to be totally opposite. Like, but in some ways, I have adapted a lot of her ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm turning into my mother.
You so silly.
No, that's real though. That's real. It's scary, real scary.
What?
Where you be like, I'm turning into my mom.
Oh gosh.
No,
Yes,
for real.
yes, yeah.
It's a scary situation.
Yeah. But another person, I have a couple, I will say that. We already talked about my grandmother, but I had this woman come into my life that loved on me, didn't have to love on me, didn't have to love on my kids, gave me peaches and cream and rainbows every single day. And she didn't have to do it. But when I watched her, it wasn't like I was just gold and she just picked me out of the crowd. It was like, you gonna get it, but I'm gonna share it with these people too. And that is Jay Sean's grandmother. Oh, yeah. I wasn't supposed to say his name, I guess, but you know, his grandmother loved on everybody in EC. Okay. And just to have her in my corner and she didn't have to be, man, it's no words to explain like how much gratitude I have for her, and I'm so grateful that God brought her in my life. She had me change my perspective, even though my perspective of life was changing when I, started attending church and reading the word for myself. But looking at her as well made me change the way that I was looking at things. And so, although she will always say, "Don't be with my son,"
At
she
least
was like,
real.
"No, no,
Yeah, at
no."
least she kept it
She kept it
real.
real. Like,
You can't do nothing but respect that.
you can't do that. Now you gotta keep going up. But even saying that, you know what, Mama would say something like that. And so the things of which she said to me, I kept them and I use them for my boys. You know, a lot of people look at me and be like, "Well, Dad, are you on their side or are you against them?" Like, well, you know, I'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get them together, and I'm also
I'm on the right side."
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So, you know, them are my women.
Okay, so for me, of course, first and foremost, I gotta shout out my mama. You know what I'm saying? Because Lord, 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 I know I was not easy child to deal with. Let me tell you, I went through so many changes though, and it was a lot. I know it was. I know one day she just came to me like, "What am I doing wrong?" But she stuck it out, y'all. Look where we at now. I'm so grateful. But no, seriously though, when my mom, she had 3 kids under 5 before she had me. And she was like straight fresh out of high school. And she had to make so many sacrifices for them. And like now being an adult and being a mom now, I had Lily for 24 hours and I was like, baby, how did you do it? Okay. But I mean, and then too, having to and allowing them to live with their father when she knew that she could not provide for them at that time. And I feel like that's a big woman.
I was
You know
just
what I'm
gonna say
saying?
that's a big thing.
Because it's so many baby mamas out here like, I'm gonna drag my baby through the mud with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because they actually have to, it's because they just are selfish or being selfish and seeing it in a selfish way. But for her to be able to see the bigger picture and say, um, you know, I'm not giving you away. However, during this time, you have to primarily live with your father. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that so much because when Eden came, y'all, I was like, she can't go with nobody. I got to see her all the time. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dear. Yeah, you cool enough, but look, I love you, but you can't take her away.
But you know, the other thing that I want to say about my mom was that I know that having a child with a sickness is very, very, very hard. And so I remember my mom trampling through the snow because we ain't had no car, going to get schoolwork because I never could go to school in the wintertime. And so when I think back of it, like, you know what, I don't know, like you might have had to have a tutor or something. Like, girl, you what you want me to do? Throw you to the school building? Like, here, you know what I'm saying? But homegirl would be up every day going to pick up schoolwork, and I just be wondering, like, why did you go to the school every day? Like, you ain't have to go. You could have went for, one day out the week, but this woman went every single day to turn in work and then bring it back, had me do it, went over it with me, and then take it back to the school. Every winter? Listen
You'd
here.
be
I think
surprised
you're
what
going to
you will
fail.
do
Look,
when
I
you
think
are a
you're going to
mother.
fail.
Let's try this year again.
Right. Can we do something different? And it was no different. It was no different. Like, she just kept doing it. It was like, well, dang. Like, you think back of that and me having my kids, I probably would have done it. But I would have found a different way. Because I ain't going through no
I would have been
stuff.
like, DoorDash, do y'all deliver schoolwork?
I
We
wish.
living in different times now. Like, hey, excuse me, Uber.
Definitely. They needed a Uber DoorDash back then because Miss Val was, going through everything. Like, man.
I know,
Okay,
especially them teenage years, I probably would have done dope. You know what I'm saying? Because we definitely butt heads so much. But then as an adult, it was really like, I just got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I get it now. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would like to talk about my sister, Dominique, the one that is the oldest of my mom's children. She, I watched her, so closely because when she had her first child, I was 12. I was 12 years old. So me and her are about like 11 years apart, maybe 10 or 11 years apart. And when she had her first child, like I really treated him like my son too. And she just really figured it out, you know what I'm saying? And not to say that my mom wasn't there because she was. However, like I was saying before, their relationship is different. You know what I mean? And like now that child is going into the ninth grade. He has, you know what I'm saying? He's an honor roll student, and she just does the thing. You know what I'm saying? She has 3 kids now, and it's just like, bro, you just out here just being a mom and just being great. You know what I'm saying? And going through and being successful and just doing it all, like in dealing with your own things, because I am seeing you in like every title that you hold, you know what I'm saying? And I've been there since the beginning, just seeing her just grow and adapt to the times and the world now, and each situation is different. And she really just do what's best for her family. And I really, really, really love that about her. And I got quite a few people too, so I got one more, y'all. And so the last person for me, especially for like my foundation or my village, it would be the first lady at my church, which is also like my aunt. She is so humble and so sweet and so soft spoken. However, when it is time to lay the hammer down, okay, she puts her foot down, and she really showed me how you don't have to be so aggressive or so hard or so rough with your words to get your point across.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta cut deep with your words. You could be sweet and still people will respect you. You know, you can still demand respect in a way that is not demeaning to other people. You know what I'm saying? And I really, really, really love that about her. And then also watching her in her marriage and how she holds up her husband and how she plays a role in her marriage that even if nobody else don't know about it, she feels honored to play that role. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that is like so crazy to me. It's just like I just be looking at her like, girl, I just love you. Look at you. Oh my goodness. So yeah.
That's dope,
Last
y'all.
one. I have one more.
Nisha like, can I do one more? I got actually just thought about
I was
somebody
thinking
else.
about the pictures, like I'm gonna leave that one out, and she on the picture. But Sissy, Councilwoman Shayla Davis, like y'all, we talk about how many jobs I have. Yeah, it's because of her as well. Like she always told me, um, you could be whatever you want to be and you could do whatever you want to do. So just get up and do it. Girl, if you gotta carve the door out, carve it out, put the doorknob on it and walk through it.
Period.
Cool.
Period. um I love to see her in her role that she's in now, but just to know how she got there. You know what I'm saying? She worked through
Mm-hmm.
her disability and shined. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't let nothing hold her back. And when I say nothing, I mean Nathan. I watched her send her son through college. I've seen her interact with her daughter and send her off to school. Like she was the business. But the thing about her was once she got to the next level, she always looked back and brought somebody else with her.
Hello.
It wasn't about let me keep climbing and never going back. She always like, hey, I'm on step 2, but I'm about to grab you and you grab somebody else and we about to keep on going. And that's just what she's always taught me and always said to, like Tierra said, you don't have to be so loud in order to get your point across. You
Mm-hmm.
don't gotta be Bonquisha from the projects all the time.
Oh, not Bonquisha.
You ain't gotta be like that. You could be very nice and settle and get someone together and make sure that they respect you. Make sure that you get that respect because you deserve that. And so when I think of strong black women, she right there. Like I be like, yeah, I'm gonna be like Sister Shayla, cause baby. So those are my 3 women. Like,
Okay, and so collectively, I believe that we can shout out our other 2 sisters, because
yes, they be out
yeah,
here doing it, girl.
they
They
be
be
on
doing
it.
it.
They be
Talk
getting to the
about
bag.
strong black women.
They definitely
Yes.
getting that bag. Okay.
Okay.
Period. They make a way out of no way.
No way
They
at
pull it out
all.
the bag.
Can we say their
And
names? Are we allowed to say their names?
yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just
They
yeah.
are
saying. I mean,
sisters.
you was saying that you ain't want to say your son name, so I don't know. Well,
Well, I mean, like,
Well, huge shout out to our oldest sister, Tanisha, and our other sister, not the baby, but second to youngest is Sierra's the baby. Our other sister, Darlene. Um, Definitely want to shout you guys out because you, as well as what we define as strong Black women, you guys are excellent mothers. You're hardworking. You're gorgeous, obviously. All are, but
right? Like,
definitely want to shout you guys out. We love you. Y'all the bomb.com.
And last but not least, we want to shout out our grandmother, the woman who connects us all, who gave birth to our father.
Ooh, and I know that was a challenge to deal with him. Ooh, wait.
Kudos to you for sure.
Yes.
She had to hold it down, put her foot down, do whatever, do the thing, you feel me? Because I heard heard
stories, okay?
We ain't gonna get into that though. We ain't gonna get into that. But we definitely want to honor her as well. We love her, and just the sacrifice that she made, for real, for her legacy. You know what I'm saying? Because regardless of how close or how much time we were actually able to spend, or now even able to spend, especially due to COVID, we still definitely want to honor her because nonetheless we are part of her legacy, and we all wear her last name. I mean, my last name is not Walker, but still. We're all a part of that Walker legacy because of her. So yeah.
Much love to all the strong women in our lives.
And and everybody that's watching, if you are a strong Black woman, you know what I'm saying, you're a strong woman, shout out to you. Pat yourself on the back. Girl, you going to work, girl, you taking care of them kids, girl.
Don't buy yourself something new.
I was just about to say, go have a shopping day. Like, go ahead. You could do it.
Get that purse you've been looking at. The kids got what they need. You've been taking care of them all this time. Go ahead and treat yourself.
Amen.
Yes. You deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So, everybody, we thank you once again for tuning in. We hope that we have engaged you in some sassy conversation, empowered you to be the person that you wanted to be, but encouraged you to go to the next level. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I always forget that one. You can get in contact with us on all of those social medias, just Sister Talk LTB, on Instagram, Twitter, and I don't know the other one, but
Facebook.
Oh yeah, that one. But you can email us at sistertalkwithltb@gmail.com.
Hey, that's up.
Sisters, do y'all got anything else?
I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come and love me and understand me, because all I need is understanding, baby.
Oh my God.
What about you, Sierra?
What is wrong? What is wrong? I love you, Brittany.
Right.
Thank you.
We gotta give Brittany all the love.
All I need is love. I appreciate the love, guys. Thanks.
Oh my God, dude. I cannot.
Oh yeah, the bloopers. Didn't see from those strong Black women that you feel like you would have wanted more of.
She the blooper.
Who, me?
Yep. Blooper again.
What happened? Y'all ain't gonna tell me what happened? Y'all just gonna keep letting me bloop? Y'all corny.
Right.
Y'all not gonna tell me what happened?
5, 4. Look, I can't count because she
I can't be the blooper. Can we have 2 bloopers then? Because Eden's head was cut off, and that was fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. Like seriously, trying to hold my laugh in while her head just disappeared. Like all you saw is
It's
baby body.
constantly
Like
going though. Like, here, I put my baby down. He about to be the blooper here. Period.
I was waiting to see when we were gonna get a blooper.
Either you ain't gonna be the blooper girl. So now she's just gonna be eyeballs.
Right, all you see is 2 eyeballs.